Welcome to Design Stand-Up, Episode 6. As a designer, success isn't based on designing detailed mocks, and designers need these 3 traits to influence design, by Tiffany Eaton of UX Planet. And I'm your host, Ryan Stone, reading to you every Tuesday and Thursday from the best blogs in the design industry, with their permission, of course. It's kind of like a free ongoing audiobook, always being updated with new content from your favorite designers. Whether you are a seasoned design professional or simply a design enthusiast, I am on a mission to help grow your knowledge in all things digital design. I actually have 2 posts for you today, both from Tiffany of UX Planet. So without further ado, let's stand up. As a designer, success isn't based on designing detailed mocks, by Tiffany Eaton of UX Planet. I recently talked to my friend and mentor about a problem I previously had about misalignment on requirements. Essentially, the problem was that I had been going back and forth on making changes to my designs because there had been miscommunication on what we needed to have in the product before launching it. I have alleviated the issue by explaining the situation to my teammates and consolidating meetings, but when I explained the situation to my mentor, a question he asked me was, "What does success mean to you?" I had an idea about what success meant at the moment, so I said, albeit seemingly unsure as I started with lots of "I think" statements, "What success means finishing mocks and getting feedback that I was going in the right direction." My mentor explained that this kind of success isn't the kind of success designers should be thinking about. The kind of success we need to be thinking about is how it can support business and user objectives, and it's something measurable. Success could mean something like time on task and adoption. For my product, success could mean integration and efficiency. Integration from the business perspective of gaining more partners, and the user perspective of streamlining existing processes of doing a task. For efficiency, from the business perspective, this can mean gaining more users based on ease of use, and from the user perspective, this means less friction and less time to achieve tasks. As you can see, the way a designer views success should align with what the team believes to be success. It is based on metrics and impact of how it is perceived and used by the world, not just delivering pretty design artifacts. Based on what I learned, defining success is crucial to the success of a product and how a team works. Teams need to be aligned on success, or else there is lots of churn or no thinking about meeting core objectives. A team needs success metrics, or else metrics affect your day-to-day work. Without metrics, there is lots of churn and not thinking about meeting core objectives. Also, without a core objective, the small tasks wouldn't matter because the metrics that would achieve a core objective wouldn't exist. There are 2 types of metrics to determine success: short-term and long-term, and a vision statement to ensure everyone is on the same page with what success means as a team. Vision statement: the core goal of your product and how it helps users accomplish their goals, creating new ways to enable communication for everyone. Short-term metrics: very clear goals that relate to the vision, efficiency during onboarding, completion of task. Long-term metrics: what could this directly affect? For example, development tools from name of product will help 20% of partners onboard and create outcome in the beginning of 2019. If we are talking about short-term and long-term metrics in the form of OKRs, short-term metrics are typically a P0 or P1 task. Long-term metrics are most likely not achievable in 1 quarter, so they are P3 or P4 tasks. P meaning priority and the numerical value representing importance and what is achievable now. Design is supposed to support an objective based on customer and business goals. It can be so easy to get wrapped up around the concept of shipping features in a big company that you forget to think about what a design is supposed to achieve. This is something that had been happening to me. My mind had been so preoccupied with requirements and doing something because it was a requirement that I hadn't thought about how it contributed to the user experience and how it aligned with the existing success metrics of the product. It doesn't matter about the amount of power of features you add to a product. If they don't contribute to helping the user meet their goals, it's essentially useless. Ask questions around how a process can help us get to our outcome. Success isn't designing mocks. It's about designing solutions that meets the needs of our users and satisfies the business's bottom line. Designers can enable the process that allows others to understand what those things are and use mocks as a way to visually convey objectives. When having meetings, we have the ability to guide these conversations toward user objectives and understand the kind of metrics we are using to gather data that would help determine the product's success. These conversations should be framed around, what does a button enable the user to do, instead of, where should we put the button, or what color should this button be? It is our job to decide placement and visuals, while the goal of a feature that achieves a success objective is something everyone needs to decide on. Designers need these 3 traits to influence design, by Tiffany Eaton of UX Planet. One of my goals is to get better at effectively communicating in conversations and meetings surrounding my work. As the lead designer on my project, I need to make sure people have visibility and transparency over what I am doing so that there aren't any misunderstandings between my end and the technical end. A primary way I have been going about this is presenting my work in meetings or providing design feedback to my peers, whether in weekly sync-ups or one-on-ones. I have been reflecting on my progress on how I have been providing more verbal input in meetings around my work, and what I realized is that I haven't been mentally present as I would like to be. Especially in group meetings, I find myself agreeing without fully trying to understand what I am agreeing to, and haven't been providing feedback or asking questions as much as I would like to. As someone who is in the process of building design influence in an organization still driven by the desire to build and move and break things, this is an ever-growing need to be an advocate for the user and ensuring that we are creating thoughtful design before building the end product. The 3 traits I have observed successful designers use when establishing presence and using design to influence product is that they listen, empathize, and engage. Listening to understand the context behind the work or problem, empathizing with the problem and user, and engaging to provide input that allows the designer to think critically about the problem they are designing for in order to leverage or improve on the existing design. With those 3 aspects in mind, here are some guiding tips for myself and for others to remember in order to engage and build influence as a designer. Be present in providing input. We all know that if we could get our answer without a meeting, we would do that. Meetings, when effective, allow for a wide variety of ideas and perspectives to be exchanged. This is if everyone has a chance or feels inclined to speak up, because it'll be beneficial for everyone involved. It isn't enough to just be present in meetings. Don't agree for the sake of agreeing. Explain why you agree or disagree to drive conversation, especially on issues that require design expertise. I am an agreeable person. Too agreeable. What ends up happening is that I don't think about what I want to say at the moment and then maybe ask for clarification after. This can slow down the process of getting things done on my end, especially if I could have gotten clarification at a more appropriate time. Being too agreeable also doesn't allow me to fully develop a solid perspective in what I truly believe of a topic. I realized I do this as a subconscious way to avoid confrontation. Not always good because effective confrontation can address important issues. But it also causes me to be complacent in being curious to understand new things. Based on this realization, I have been trying to be more present in meetings so I can be more visible in shaping decisions and help my fellow peers inform their work with design, learning about their work, and how it can shape mine. Don't wait to be told to speak up. A superpower everyone has at their disposal is communication. What you communicate and how you communicate comes second to making the effort to voice your perspective in a conversation that thrives on numerous inputs to reach a conclusion. I used to believe that I needed to wait for opportunities to come to me rather than to seek them out, but I have found this to be a waste of time and potential. A lot of the opportunities I received were a result of speaking up and not being afraid to show my work to others. In group settings, I need to remember that if I feel the urge to speak up, don't ignore that feeling, because speaking up will help with bringing clarity to a conversation. And it's okay to join in a conversation that's happening rather than just listen and see that topic fizzle out. You know more than you think. I've always been under the assumption that I need to have a concrete answer in order to speak up, or else I will be judged if I say something wrong. This is not true. What people talk about isn't absolute, but only their opinion, unless grounded by data. Everyone has a concentration they are most knowledgeable in that's based on their role, experience, and work. People will appreciate what you have to say because you are bringing an unique perspective that only you have to offer. You just need to listen, empathize, and engage the situation to provide value, and that in turn can drive decision and change for you and others. You just listened to the post titled, "As a designer, success isn't based on designing detailed mocks," and "Designers need these 3 traits to influence design" by Tiffany Eaton of UX Planet. If you want to learn more about Tiffany and read some of her other outstanding design articles, just press the link in the show notes or head over to UX Planet at uxplanet.org. As always, you can access this full episode along with others at designstandup.com. Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, fill up those coffees, turn up those tunes, and let's design a better world.